Broadcasting live from somewhere in the Shadow Realm, this is YuGiOh Duel Links Talk. Here's your host, Doug Dimmaduel.
Hey there, and welcome to another episode of YuGiOh Duel Links Talk. Have you been to the card trader lately? This is some pretty cool stuff that just happened recently, just this past week in the end of June. And we've had an update to the card trader. Not only do you have your typical card trader inventory where you're able to get certain cards for different ultra rare and super rare jewels and rare jewels, as well as your regular stones for the different types and your gold. There's a completely separate group of cards now that you can end up purchasing using a different kind of jewel. It's the EX jewel. Not exactly sure what it's short for. I'm not sure if it's EX for exclusive or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but all these EX jewels will allow you to pick up exclusive copies of cards that you were only able to get during certain events. So this actually makes things a lot more interesting and actually gives players now another chance to acquire some of the cards that they didn't necessarily have a chance to before, whether it was some kind of setback from being in an event or not necessarily getting the card that you wanted. There's a whole lot to it here, but I'm going to start going through some of the cards that I'm seeing that are available right now, and there's some really good ones. So we do have an ultra rare here. It's a Big Shield Gardena. It's the level 4 warrior, 100 attack, 2600 defense. During either player's turn, when this face-down card and no other cards is targeted by a spell card, change this card to face-up defense position, and if you do, negate the spell card's activation. If this card is attacked, change it to attack position at the end of the damage step. So what this requires is 300 EX jewels, so it's going to be a little costly, but you're able to earn these jewels through going head-to-head with certain event characters. Like right now, or I guess the most recent one, Yami Bakura, would drop these EX jewels, and you could also get them from meeting certain special requirements. So say you beat Yami Bakura at level 30, you'll get so many EX jewels. So keep accumulating these things, and hopefully you can see you'll be able to get to the cards that you want rather quickly. So the next card that we have here is a super rare for 100 EX jewels. It's Archfiend Empress. It is a level 8 fiend with 2900 attack, 2100 defense. Its effect is if exactly one face-up dark fiend type monster on the field except this card would be destroyed, you can remove from play one dark fiend type monster from your graveyard instead. When this card is destroyed and sent from the field to the graveyard, you can select one level 6 or higher dark fiend type monster in your graveyard except Archfiend Empress and special summon it. This card is just an absolute beast for Fiend decks. This is one that you can get through the Yami Bakura event. Either Yami Bakura will drop it, or it's one that I believe you could get very much later on in the event where you get so many points. I want to say it's pretty high up there, so it's one of the last rewards that you could get in that event. Next here we have Power Injector. It's a level 4 psychic, 1300 attack, 1400 defense. Once per turn, you can pay 600 life points to have all face-up psychic monsters gain 500 attack during this turn. So this is a good attack booster. Remember this one from one of those, I believe it was the card flip event or something along those lines. This was one of the cards that you're able to get. This one is going for 100 EX jewels as well. So that's one where if you're running a psychic deck, I think this is a pretty good card to have for that. Next super rare we have here is Trance Archfiend, the level 4 fiend, 1500 attack, 500 defense. Once per turn, you can discard one fiend type monster, and if you do, this card gains 500 attack until the end of the turn. When this card you control is destroyed and sent to your graveyard, you can target one of your banished dark monsters and add that target to your hand. So this is a really good secret rare, a really good super rare as well. It's a great card, especially for Fiend decks. I'm starting to see the trend right now within the card traders, so we'll move forward here. We have Bad Reaction to Samochi. It's a super rare trap card that also requires 100 EX jewels. It's a continuous trap, and as long as this card remains face up on the field, any effect of increasing your opponent's life points is changed to inflict the same amount of points in damage to your opponent's life points. So that's a really good one too, especially for those decks who like to run those cards that heal, and they get a lot of recovery cards. This one's just a really good super to have. Next we have a rare for only 30 EX jewels, Fiend Griefing. It's a trap card where you target one monster in your opponent's graveyard and shuffle it into the deck. Then you can send one Fiend-type monster from your deck to the graveyard. So this is really setting you up for certain plays. I think it's a pretty good card. Next we have a rare Shield Spear. You target one face-up monster on the field. It gains 400 attack and defense until the end phase. This is a really good trap to have, so this is one that I like to try and see multiple copies of. Next, you have Goddess of Whim, a level 3 fairy with 950 attack and 700 defense. Once per turn, you can toss a coin and call heads or tails. If you call it right, double this card's attack during this turn. If you call it wrong, half its attack during this turn. So this is another 30 EX Jewel card, so this is good for, especially if you have the double coin toss card. I can't remember where exactly you would get that, but yeah, this is a pretty good rare too. So next rare we have is Dark Lord Marie. Level 5 Fiend, 1700 attack, 1200 defense. Once per turn during your standby phase, you gain 200 life points. This card must be in the graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. So that's a pretty good one too. And we also have here for 30 EX Jewels, Type 0 Magic Crusher. It is a continuous trap card where you discard one spell card from your hand to inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent's life points. So it's a continuous trap card as well. So yeah, if you're running a spell heavy deck where you're possibly drawing a lot of cards and you're going to have some, Type 0 Magic Crusher is just a great burn card, and it really sets you up for that. So other than that, that's what we're looking at right now, at least as far as what the card trader is showing me for all the EX Jewels, and I'm sure there's going to be more to come, and I will definitely be keeping my eye out on these cards and seeing what other additions, because if these are going to be more event-oriented cards, you may see some that have been pretty sought after. I'm not sure exactly which cards are going to be on the list and which ones aren't going to be on the list, but I know that there are quite a few spells and monsters and stuff that people have been dying to get their hands on that possibly the legendary duelists haven't been dropping so much. So I know one of which was, of course, from YuGiOh, the Union Attack and stuff like that. You know, just the ones that are really, really difficult to get. I'm sure people wouldn't mind putting down 300 EX Jewels to get one of those highly, highly sought after cards. So. But yeah, just keep an eye out as far as other opportunities to earn more EX Jewels. If you go under your missions and you go to the special tab, you will see event missions that will grant you some more EX Jewels. So keep an eye out for those. Keep an eye out for when those are being updated. If there are other changes to these types of things, I will definitely address that in an upcoming episode. But I'd like to hear your opinion. Do you think this is a good idea or a bad idea about having these event-exclusive cards and having specific jewels for them? I'd like to get your thoughts. If you'd like, reach out to me on Twitter at YuGiOh Deck Talk. It's all one word, at YuGiOh Deck Talk. And we may bring this back up in a future podcast episode as well. So anyway, that's it for today's episode. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care.